Welcome to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theater. Now, here's your host, Lisa Condit.
Good morning, everybody. Happy day on this beautiful winter morning. And today I'm so excited. Troy Siebels, our CEO and president, as well as the director of his adaptation of A Christmas Carol, is on the phone. Welcome, Troy. You've had a big weekend.
Good morning. I have.
A Christmas Carol, back for the 6th year at the annual theater. But I just found out, I don't know how I didn't realize this, this is your 15th year with this production.
That's right. I did the adaptation about 18 or 19 years ago, and I've only missed 3 or 4 years in the last 18 or 19 years. But it's grown a lot over that time, and I was really proud of it the first year, and now I'm appalled at what it looked like the first year because it's grown and improved so much every year.
I love this production. I love how every year it gets, I was going to say a little bit better, but that would be underselling it. And you know that's not my style. So for New England's most spectacular production, you have lots of great new things this year. It ends with this just beautiful setting. We won't tell anybody what that is. But I was also impressed when I was looking at the cast list this year. Your cast is from everywhere.
They are. They are from everywhere. There's certainly a foundation of them that are from Greater Boston, and a couple that are even from here in Worcester. And then there's several from New York. There's one from Virginia. They come from all over. We're starting to build a reputation as a great production that I think people want to be a part of.
I know, and you have cast members that come back year after year, but you make everybody audition all over again, right?
We do.
What are some of your favorite moments from this year's production?
Well, one of the big things that we've made changes in this year is the scene between Ebenezer Scrooge and the ghost of Jacob Marley. It's sort of it's the pinnacle of the show in a way. It's early in the show, but it's the point from which all of the future action flows. And so it is the start of Scrooge's big journey. It's one of the most critical moments in the show. And we've done a lot of new, interesting things around it this year, the way the physical production realizes it, and it's a new performer in the role, Mark Geller from New York. He's interpreted it a way that's a little different from what we've done in the past, and I just think it's absolutely right on, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to blow people away. Everybody
is going to absolutely love it, and the talented cast is amazing. The organ sounds fabulous. The set is beautiful. The costumes are amazing. I love the choreography. The singing is really festive and fun. What have we left out, Troy?
Well, I think it's really about the cast. It's all about the people, as is anything. The success of anything is about the people, right? And this one, I'm really, really proud of this cast. We've got Sean Hopkins back this year in the role of Bob Cratchit. There was a great feature on him in the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, and he did a little guest appearance with the Boston Pops last week as well. Just a phenomenal talent. He's a part of the show. Oh, well, I know what the big highlight is. My 7-year-old son is debuting this year as Tiny Tim.
I was going to say.
That's the thing that most people really need to know, right?
Well, I was going to say, I think Jane and Carter would have something to say about this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's the big...
It's so nice because even when we were talking with Sean, he really made the point that to be a member of this cast, you feel like you're a member of the family for... What is it, 3-4 weeks from, right around Thanksgiving?
Plus, 5 weeks all in all, yep.
Yeah, and so everybody really gels and comes together. And then he was talking about how his fiancée is in the cast this year. And now your son is in the cast this year.
That's right. And it's because we attract people that, as I said, want to be in it. And so I think we can get a really high caliber of performer.
Absolutely. And just... because we never really talked about it, what was the motivation or the inspiration to choose Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol as the book or the piece of work that you wanted to put on stage? What about that particular story really got you?
Well, I have to say I sort of fell into it. I was at the time the managing director at a theater, the American Stage Festival in Milford and Nashua, New Hampshire. We were building a new theater in Nashua, 300-seat space, and wanted to have a show to open it with, and we chose A Christmas Carol because it was a holiday time of year when the theater would be opening. We wanted a very broad appeal production with a powerful story in which we could show off some stellar tour de force performers as well as some great technical expertise. Chose that production. And I took almost a year to do a adaptation from the script. And again, as I said earlier, now that when I look back at that, it's just grown so much and improved so much since then. It's hard to even believe it was the same story. But, the pieces that are straight from Dickens are there, and they're the same. Where Dickens put words in the characters' mouths, those are the words we speak on stage, because I and nobody else is going to improve on Charles Dickens. But, the interesting parts are where you need to put words in the character's mouth, because he didn't. He only described the scene, and so you have to get into what's the point of the scene, and what are they trying to convey, and what do we want to know about these characters. And they're all, living, breathing, vibrant, and dynamic people. So you have to. Nobody's a cardboard cutout.
Oh, it's wonderful. It really is, and it is such a perfect story for this time of year. A lot of people. It's a tough economic time for many, many of the people here in Worcester and Worcester County, and it's just an uplifting story. And I have to say, for everybody out there, Troy really is like Fezzy Wood. He's not like Scrooge, just in case. Even if we're cold in the office, he's not telling us that we couldn't put another coal in the fire.
One more coal.
But also, all joking aside, there's so much research and hard work and expertise that goes into this. You were talking about envisioning what Dickens was trying to convey in each scene. Well, that vision is personified not just with the people, but again, with the set and the lighting and the backdrop. That hand-painted backdrop is just unbelievable, of the London skyline. And did we paint the stage this year, Troy?
We painted pieces of it newly this year, and pieces of it are returning from last year. The good thing about repeating a production is that you can build on it every year and not have to start from scratch. So there's always a little more and better.
Well, and we all love the fact that A Christmas Carol happens here at the Hanover Theater in Worcester. It gives us all a chance to really experience what it's really like to be in showbiz for just a little while instead of the tour stop. And so it's a great way to build community. Our partners love working with us, and it's a great way to really reward and help people who otherwise wouldn't be able to go to live theater with our own production year after year.
Absolutely.
And wow, great response from the schools this year with the student matinees, too.
That's right. We've got 5,000 kids approximately right now coming to 3 student performances.
So do your actors notice a difference between the student matinees and the other performances as far as the audience engagement?
I think we do, yes. I think that you get a different... You know what? It really depends on the age of the students and how much theater they've seen before. Some of these kids, it'll be their first time in a live performance, and some will have seen shows before many times. And so I think that they react to things differently. But there's nobody who's more honest than a young child, especially. And so they'll tell you when they like it, and they'll tell you when they don't.
Well, and it's interesting you say that, too, because Sean was saying one of his favorite parts of working in this production is there are a lot of kids on the cast. You get a lot of not just fresh kids who might not do a lot of theater outside of their school, but you have picked future Broadway stars from your productions. You have a great track record.
Actually, it's sort of canny. With this production has a way of the kids have gone on to do great things. We've had 2 of them in Broadway shows after doing the show here, and we've only done it for 5 years before now. And one of them go on to do a major New York production and a tour. So I don't know what it is. Maybe we've got the magic dust here.
You can pick the talent. So other than, of course, Carter, your son, which actor that's younger than, say, 16 should we keep our eye on?
Oh, goodness. I think the young woman who plays our Ghost of Christmas Past this year, I cast a young woman in that role because I think it's so emblematic of the innocence of Scrooge's past and the youth and vibrancy of it. I've seen productions cast men, women, older, younger, all sorts of people in the role. I usually cast a young girl, and the young girl who's doing it this year, her name is Emma. She's a real talent.
And what is that beautiful song that she sings to Scrooge?
In the Bleak Midwinter, it's called.
And so what made you choose that piece of music for that particular scene?
We use a lot of traditional carols that are appropriate to Charles Dickens' time. and many of them, of course, are music that we still hear today. But we don't do Jingle Bells. We don't do Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, right? We do the
No.
traditional stuff. You're looking for song. I mean, the primary thing is what kind of mood does the song create, and how does that supplement what's going on stage? And it either needs to support it directly. In A Bleak Midwinter, you're sort of commenting on, metaphorically, Scrooge's past. In other instances, you might want to have the music function in counterpoints to it. So behind a scene in the counting house where you've got Scrooge refusing to contribute to a charitable gentleman who's asked for a contribution for a fund to feed and clothe the poor, you have carolers come along behind in a Here We Come a Wassailing or a Good King Wenceslas, and the counterpoint to what's going on stage can be equally powerful.
Oh, absolutely. My two favorite are almost opposites. I love how that song, Ding Dong Merrily on High, I'm sure that's not really the appropriate title, but I
think it is, actually.
Oh, all right. Well, I love how that sounds, and then I also love that scene when the Cratchit family is at the dinner table.
Yes. That's called Baloo Lamai. That's a carol a lot of people have never heard before. One of the few in the show that's not as common, but it's beautiful. It fits the moment perfectly.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So do you have a favorite carol that's in the performance?
I do love Bleak Midwinter, and I love Ding Dong Merrily on High, and I really love the arrangement of O Come Emmanuel. We do it late in the first act.
Oh, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. So everybody, boy, this is a long run for us at the Hanover Theater, but we only have this weekend. We only have one more performance today, and that's going to be at 1 o'clock. And then we have another performance on Friday at 7, next weekend, Saturday, 2 p.m., 7 p.m., and again, Sunday at 1. So please make a point, gather your friends and family, come for one of the best feel-good musicals that you could possibly imagine. There's information on our website at thehanovertheater.org. Troy has priced this so that kids and students are always half price. You've got to come. Anything else you need to say, Troy?
Not a bit, but happy holidays.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we will see you again. And everybody, we will see you at the theater. Stay tuned for more behind the scenes as our conversation continues. Thanks, Troy.